Well, it's technicolor out here, at least on the ground. Well, hey everybody, you ever wonder how my brain works? Me too, but I'll tell you what I do know. So, welcome to another Not Thursday in New Hampshire. We're going metal detecting, obviously, but how my brain works is it links things together, which, you know, one thing leads to another. So, in Friday's video, I dug this thing, which made me think of this thing, which I had shown you, which was a confirmed matrix seal that essentially it was given out to land surveyors back in the colonial days. So digging thing A led to thinking of thing B, which is leading me to go back to that site way out there. And I am looking forward to it because it's been 2 years. It's actually been over 2 years. It was summertime of 2 years ago. I can't believe it. There wasn't a ton of stuff out there because they weren't there long. Nobody detected it, that's for sure. But I have a mile and a half to go, so I'm gonna get moving, and we're gonna enjoy the fall conditions. Yeah, look at everything falling. All right, let's move. So if you can hear it over here, there's a river. Fortunately, there's a bridge. We just followed the cart path down to this area, but this is the broken spot for the old landscape, the old layout of where people lived. Because soon as you cross from that side where people stayed up until probably the late 1800s, and you get over here, we have now walked into the oldest section, really, of the colonial New Hampshire days. And it's pretty fascinating, actually, because on this side it's massive and nothing has happened out here in a long time. And what also makes it fascinating is that as soon as you cross where that bridge was, the cart paths, trails, lanes become very vague. It's been a long time probably since that bridge has been out. Alright, we're almost there. And also back to the way my brain works is I was thinking about the last time I was out here being summertime, quite jungle-like. And now that it's autumn, I can see a lot more that I definitely could not see before. So I've never been out here this time of the year. That is a good reason to be out here. All right, we have made it. So again, this is an early settler site. It could be even pre-1750 in this area. Very small cellar. Chimney stack has already had trees growing up and dying off. And yeah, I'm just intrigued to be back out here. Honestly, don't care if I find anything. It would be nice, but I'm gonna swing around a little bit further than the past trip. But I also, because of the foliage conditions, want to stretch out a little bit, see what else is out there. So let's turn it on. Let's hopefully dig. Well, that took about 15 minutes. Not a good signal, but it's a signal. Well, it was a thing. And everything out here is really old, so it's not just junk. We got a whole bunch of holes. So there's our first target and thing. Well, dug that out, and the signal next to it is nice and clean. And the surprising part is I'm right next to the cellar hole. So we definitely worked this, but that first target was distracting from this. Wow, talk about a micro find. Jeez, if that's all that there is of it, that's quite the snipe. Look at this. It's part of a shoe buckle frame, and that is the pivot point where the innards would connect. Wow. I'll take it. It's an old relic. I'm just happy to have heard it. That is something else. Alright, well, we'll check it. And you know, for the average detectorist, it's just a little itty bitty piece of something, but for us, in a site like this, that is one of the oldest around, early settler, every little bit and piece is important, especially when they were probably here a very short window of time, and there's not much left behind. So, I'm pleased. Definitely sounds like iron. Oh, soft. Thank you. That's interesting. Hole there. Could have been part of some type of strap hinge. It's thinner than normal, but you never know. And very little contamination out here. We might find some ammo, but other than that, everything is in that 250 to 300-year-old range. Wow, that was probably a foot down. Ah, good. Yes, good. Little itty bitty oxen shoe. And I'm about 80 feet from the cellar. Weak, but a bit more solid of a signal than the iron stuff. Oh, wonderful. See, when you don't care what you're finding, when you do find something awesome, it's awesome. Cufflink. I think I dug a cufflink here, or cufflinks, I can't recall. I have to check the rest of it, but very good. That's awfully loud, because it's a shotgun shell. Well, I just did quite the rounds in this place. It's very quiet ground. There's barely even any nail iron. So I dug everything I heard. But since I'm out here, I haven't been out here in a while, I want to go further to the south, which I've never been, just to see what's out there. And I don't think this guy did any land improvement, but who knows? We definitely want to see what is out there, so let's move. So you can see, first observations, when walking away from the cellar hole, it's not flat. It definitely doesn't look like it was worked, but that's in the immediate area. Who's to say what it looks like up in there? I'm definitely curious, been curious for a while. And there are no other walls besides the one we crossed earlier, but that one is a grid square or boundary wall because, no lie, it goes over 3 towns. It just, whatever line that is, it just keeps going. It ain't a town line. So it hadn't been built by this guy for his property. Yeah, not much has happened up in here. Well, it's the same a lot later. I went all the way down to the south for a ways, banked over to the west. Now I'm heading back to the north. You know, doing a little loop. I've mentioned it about this area before and why it's just another intriguing area to come out to. Back in the colonial days, it's one of the few areas written that the land terrain was so bad that they didn't bother pulling timber for the king for masts because they couldn't get it out of the area. It was so bad. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible compared to some places we've been to. It's the overall picture of it, you know, trying to get it from here to out to the turnpike or wherever. Wow. Yeah, it's just been the same the whole way through. So we'll keep going. Hopefully we'll hit that wall that we crossed earlier at a different spot. Well, there's our wall we crossed earlier to the east. And you can see how bad it is in here, that this wall was not built for clearing. It's definitely not squared off. It just keeps going in either direction for a long ways. It's good though. It's getting me over to a section I've never seen before. Yeah, we'll go in a little bit that way and then start heading back towards the river. Wow, that is definitely it. I'm back where we started. I swung the whole way back. I can feel it. Old shotgun shell. Shotgun shell again. And nothing but ammo. Somebody's old hunting grounds for sure. But today was a perfect NT. I got to do some detecting, finding old stuff, some exploring, and I got to see a bit more of this area, which is massive. So if you approach doing this like that, you'll always have a good time. Alright everybody, see you soon. Go out, have some fun, and enjoy your Not Thursday.